Yo, one sec. Hmm, one second, one sec. So, I know y'all hear me now. I can show off the fit a little bit if you want. Like, I got some, some of those, this is a fit for real, bro. Um, but it's whatever, bro. We just chilling for real. But what I did was, I wrote a song like in 16 minutes, and like it's because I was right. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I wrote down, bro. But before I went into the song, I'm not gonna spoil much, but there's a song called High Rise Continents that I made, and The Valley of the Greats, which stars a lot of people, and I wrote all their parts for the song and the music video and everything. Um and I made a lot of songs today. Like I made so many Go Throat spin-off songs, and I'm gonna put one in the chat that I just made. It's 6:19 right now. I made it from 6 o'clock to 6:16. Um, and no, I did not say that in threes. So yeah, I'm gonna put the song in the chat because I was writing it as a proposal for anyone who wants to hop on the album. Anyone who has the mind. I met this girl named Tia, and she's fire, bro. Like she's just like me for real, but you know, um, she's like 22 or whatever. I'm 19. She's like I'm too old for you, But nah, we just chilled all day, anyways, bro. It was fire, bro. But that's not the I respect her a lot. With anyone who I meet, I have a high level of respect for them. And on the mic, my my voice sounds goofy, like a child, bro. And yeah, I'm well aware. It's because I'm not trying to go. I'm not trying to go low or like high or like, I'm not trying to do any. I'm not trying to sing a song right now, so it don't matter. But you can see the song in the chat. And it's a proposal to anyone who actually wants to become a silk dragon. Um, my group's called the Metal Chain Gang. Yeah, I want y'all to have fun. Give some love to my boy Hayag. He's an official dragon. He might connect in Portugal for real, bro. Yeah, bro, he's fire, bro. He's working on an album right now too. Um, but like for me, I got the mic right here, bro, and I got the focus right and everything. I got the echo. I got a lot of things, and then I just bought some stuff to, a better mic and a pop filter, another pop filter, and just new equipment and mic stand. So I wanna pour my heart into you guys because you guys are what makes me who I am, you know. And like I really do appreciate you guys, Um, and yeah, I wrote this proposal because I wanna mix with someone who I mean, Hayek and I, we chill for real, bro. But if you on that level of intellect, where you can join, where we assess you, and we're like, bro, like come in the crew for real, like you official, you cool for real, bro, like you good. But besides that, I got a few hashlings in the nest for real. A few hatchling dragons in the nest, bro. It's coming out their eggs, bro. Yeah. One of them raps like gangster rap. He's a young guy. He doesn't really know about the streets or nothing. So I tell him, he gotta, if he wants to connect to his audience, like his sounds, his music needs to have emotion in it. If it's just soulless, like you can call a song soulless, like as a title, and then have a monotone, like like tone throughout the whole thing, but like there should be a beat drop. You know, just something different, bro. But just I do mentor people too. I don't talk about them much. I mean, they're not reaching out much, but I mean, I'm still doing what I'm doing, bro. But I mean, they probably seeing it, but I, when they need to, they can reach out anytime, for real. But besides that, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I wrote down, but not. I'm not going to. I'm not gonna spoil the names because I give people names, bro. And I already got names lined up for anyone who's joining the group who got like certain styles of voices that I need in the crew and who really like that for real. So I already got names lined up for the next greats, like we good. We in the mix together, bro. You just need to hit me up. It's whatever, bro. But yeah, we cool, we chilling. But what I wrote was so it said well I was adding new names to the list for the next grades, the next grades who gonna come up, join the mental chain gang, it's based off Death Row Records for real. The MCG, MCG Records, is gonna the company I'm gonna be selling records out of. This we're gonna have a website, we're gonna set up the website and stuff, um, but I'm like not right now because I'm doing way too much stuff right now. It's probably in August, like after August, when everything is gonna get like set up for real. But right now, I'm just getting better at. I'm just developing my writing. I mean, I'm not even developing. I'm just naturally getting better because I'm writing more and more. Um, you know, at the start, Kendrick wasn't. Some of his songs were hitting, some of them weren't. Some of them had good beats, some of them were like okay, but you need to make songs that you want to listen to. You don't need everyone else to listen to them, but if people are interested, they might give you a listen. Some of his songs only have 71,000 views, exactly 71,000. One of his songs, versus the songs that have like 1 billion views, like humble, like that just shows progress. That shows that he was writing more and more and naturally developing new skills as he did that. And I understand that, And yeah, Kendrick, if you see this, bro, like hit me up for real. Like like I'm deep in the mix for real. And we just chilling, bro. We just chilling. So I mean it just share this video or whatever, like to anyone or whatever, just spread the word, bro. Cause we already coming up, bro. And you don't need much money to come up either. Like for example, Cat Williams, his first show cost 25. His first show got cost like 22,000, and he had $25,000 to his name exactly, and that's it. And what he did was he told himself, if I don't invest in myself, then why would anyone else invest in me? So he paid for his own stuff, and he's been doing that ever since. And that makes him marketable. That makes him reputable. That makes his reputation impermeable. Like like bro, you don't need to like to be unstoppable means that like you literally just just do you. But you have to invest in yourself. You have to see yourself and use what you have. I literally so my equipment right now, I can say that all this together is probably like 300, $400. And I went to a yard sale and I got it all for $20. Like God has blessed me in so many ways. And then to have a music mentor who has master's degrees, multiple master's degrees, and so much experience working with all the equipment and guiding me through things like using Reaper. Reaper is a is a free mixing download thing. So I'm gonna be starting on that one and mixing beats, but then my guy has a soundboard. His name's Garrett, bro. He's fire too. And we can, we gonna meet up again for real. I'm gonna see how much he's progressing his talent, bro. Cause just if you ever watch Blue Lock, like you said, yeah, I'm just gonna take up all their skills. Like I'm gonna be better than Usher, Music Soul Child. While using their techniques, just acquiring their techniques. They have similar techniques, but very different at the same time. But it's hard to explain exactly what um Music Soul Child has staccato, um, and Usher. I mean, they both. Yeah, so Music Soul Child has vibrato and staccato. Usher has um I mean his voice his voice sounds like an instrument. So like on a scale, like he can replicate a piano sound with his voice. So he has a good range. And like mixing that with staccato, like like when you see him touching his body and doing that and like singing like that, like like tick 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 tick, but you're saying words like and everything makes sense, everything's clear. You can create something great like Let It Burn. You can create some awesome stuff. And I understand what they're going through. I understand what they're writing, why they're writing it. But if you have to, I want to say instead of like I want to know what how Usher started, like because I know Kendrick. I'm like, you have to be like Kendrick, um, where he literally just made videos. He just made stuff like Rigor Mortis. Rigor Mortis is a very good one, but it's only good because the musicians. The musicians are what make a performer great, and he found the right ones, bro. And he might not admit it. He might say that he made them great, but like you don't know their names. You don't know he's taking all their credit. Like, but the beat, the actual sounds, the beauty in the music is like they're creating the tone. They're setting the foundation and the groundwork for like they're probably a jazz band that literally specializes in the blues. And I've done blues. I was doing jazz band in middle school. I played Spain by Chick Corea in middle school with like old experienced performers. I played the trumpet, second trumpet, and he said to use the right side of your mouth because I was using the left side. And you gotta have a mentor like throughout your entire life, bro. Like and people say every mentor needs a mentor, and I hate that because it comes from all these like billionaires who are like yeah bro, I got a mentor who's like a billionaire. Like I got billionaire connections and I got doctors and I got lawyers and like fuck that, bro. Like you're like you're paying these people to be around you. That's not real connection, bro. Like do better, you know? But they're not gonna say that. They're gonna try to present themselves like they're great, but they're not. And like, I even say I even say a few lines in my song like that, bro. And you can see that in my poem To Be Soulless. Like if you go see my Smug the Plug, it's called Let Me Reintroduce Myself. And I apologize for like my mom coming in and out, and then it's dark. It's because like I just had this big conversation and like, I was just like, I should record this, so then it got somber, and I was on the couch, I was comfortable. And you can see it go from night to day as I'm talking. And at some point I mentioned that I'm gonna share the poem, and I share the poem to be soulless. And it's about this millionaire I met called Isaiah D. Johnson. Went to Dartmouth, this dude was like, he was like, I got lawyer connects, I got doctor connects, I got NFL connects, bro. I got tickets, and he's trying to present himself like he needs to prove something, bro. Like you don't need to prove nothing, bro. So we get to squabbling, bro. We squabble for like about like 30 minutes, bro. Um, and like I asked him the question, like, so he said, so we were talking about a lot of business. I've written a lot of business plans. I just don't have the funds to to pursue them, and I don't know where to actually like put in the business plans for people to be like, I want to invest in you, because I have I've written movie scripts, Broadway plays, poetry, and you can go see the poetry. So I wrote that in 20 minutes. So after a conversation, um I was like, okay, that's fucked up. I'm going to write a like I was just like, damn. Like I was feeling bad for these people, like these young entrepreneurs and stuff. And like he just couldn't answer. He couldn't answer me. He just like choked up, and just said, I'm gonna get I'm just gonna do my work. And he has like this high tech setup, costs like at least $3,000 on the bus. Bro, and we like round LA and stuff, bro. You meet the craziest people in LA. There are millionaires everywhere, bro. You just didn't talk to you just like if you're too scared to talk, just look at FBI interrogation, body language videos. Um what's his name? That's a good source for body language. Why am I Oh no, no. Don't okay, don't go to like bully juice is really good for exercise. I exercise with him every single day. Like I did multiple of his videos every day. I followed the challenge. Bro, I got in shape, and I'm not gonna show you, like, bro, my picture like at the end of it was like graphic, bro. I shared it with my fan club, bro. My day ones, they all in pre med, they all in med school. Some of them med school, some of them pre med, but they're all geniuses, and we're all in the mix together. We all chilling. So I share everything with them. You got to foster, your relationships. Nurture them, or else they'll just let they'll just go naturally. And just like investing in yourself, you can't let your talents go to waste. Just like even in the Bible, it talks about it. About the talents. The one dude who buried his stuff in the sand. He's that's the same concept is literally an adult saying, uh, I can write a movie script. I can write a movie script. I've written so many good movie scripts. Like you don't even know. I have a great movie script in my head, and they're just like, and then their child says, "But you're not writing anything." And then they're like, "Yeah, because I have to go to work. I have to pay taxes, and then I'm like, "But you need to. But if you're so good and you've done this so many times before, like why don't you just invest in yourself?" And it's just like you can't change people. They have to change on their own. But like, sometimes you can just tell them, where they're going wrong. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing to inform your audience, but you have to do it in a way that's meaningful, thoughtful, and respectful. Yeah, you know, yeah. So yeah, I mean, you can check out the thing, to the side, the proposal and stuff, and yeah, I didn't even give you that much context for it. I was actually skipping a lot. But yeah, so there's a song called High Rise Continents, and yeah, you guys gonna you guys gonna love that one, bro. Um, and then the Valley of Greats, bro. With I have so many different collabs in that one, bro. It's gonna be so good. Obviously, if Steve Harvey picks up the phone, because I wrote a verse for Dave Chappelle. So I have Dave Chappelle and Steve Harvey in the mix, bro. And Steve Harvey's like, I'm a busy man, and you see my nephew Tommy, like, and then they got my cousin over here, he got Ready to Love, the show that, and they got to support my brothers, and I'm already doing all the, but if he wants to make time, because you have enough time, you have 24 hours in the day. If you schedule 1 hour for every single part of the day, you have 24 things you can do until midnight. Midnight's the time when I go to bed. The next day I rest up, maybe, and then you go to bed at 9 and then wake up. A few hours later, it's 12. Get to work, and then cycle repeats. You have so many hours in the day. You can just go, go, go. It's not that bad. And like when I go to bed at 12, I usually sleep till the afternoon. I don't do that no more. I used to do that all the time, but I sleep like I sleep okay. I need to sleep more. Prioritize my mental and physical health, bro. And yeah, you gotta really do that because if you're not doing that, then you can't do nothing. If you're in a hospital bed, you can't write and stuff. But if Michael Jackson's in the hospital bed, he's like he wanna do bust a move, bro. Like he can't do it, bro. Got hooked up everywhere. Like you can't like when your mental and physical is gone, how can you function? You know. So I was trying to. I mean, I left out so many parts, bro. So this is kind of a quick video um of everything, bro. But yeah, if you want to be a silk dragon, check out the little thing over there. And yeah, we chilling for it is what it is, bro. And yeah, if you want to be part of the Brown Butter album, and create some silk songs, I already wrote them. So it's gonna be pretty easy, you know what I mean? So if you want to join the gang, bro, the Mental Chain Gang, the MCG, become a dragon, just let me know. Just let me know. Send me some of your stuff. A small sample, bro. Meet up in person. Meet up in LA or something, bro. And we can get to squabbling. Get dinner. Have a good conversation, bro. Go back and forth. Goals. Because right now, I'm getting my stenography license. I'm picking up two associates in August. That's why I said in August. I mean, I've been tutoring for 3 years. Like, well, I've been tutoring college students for 3 years. When I turned 16, I started tutoring college students, and some mothers, some of their kids, like all ages, because I did all my calculus, I did all of my differential equations. By the time I turned 18, I did all my class. I did everything. The only reason why I'm picking up my degree in August is because it's like you still need an ethics class to get a math degree. Two liberal arts and math and science and mathematics, and you can check the like I have 70 credits right now. So to add, I'm taking 4 classes on the President's Honor Roll. So to add that to it, it's just like, bro. I'm not like, and I don't like to boast or nothing. I don't even like to talk about myself. Like I don't like to be secretive, but I don't talk about myself because I don't want others to feel like I'm trying to compare myself to them. Um, which is why I talk about my songs and I don't talk about like like how I'm on the President's Honor Roll. Princeton emailed me and reached out and said, "Hey, you should come to my university." I applied to Dartmouth and all the Ivy Leagues, and I write poetry, and I don't like to because I'm not trying to like I don't idolize myself. I don't idolize anyone, bro. You don't make idols, don't worship idols. You just gotta take inspiration. Like I said from my last video, the movie, literally the movie The Brothers. Like, bro, I wrote like 5 songs based off that, bro. I'm not worshiping. I'm not worshiping the people. I'm just making songs, and they all gonna be in my Brown Butter album because they're just like explicit content. Be advised, I'm gonna have to put that on the albums. you know but yeah, bro, like, be inspired by people. Michael Jackson is literally the epitome of greatness, and that's my standard. you know the gold standard failed long ago, bro. um you got to rely on people now. So, you can't just exploit people. You can't just, or you can do stuff. I mentioned in the last video, Amazon, all this other stuff, and I just, I go into it and stuff like that, bro. It was late at night, bro, and I was just ranting, bro. Like every like things that came to mind, I was like, yo, like, how can someone say that? Like, bro, I'm not gonna go back into that, bro. Yeah, bro. We just chilling. We just chilling, bro. But yeah, yeah. You know, take care of yourself. Go get some ice cream or something. You know what I mean? Like, and if you need, I can slide you, $20 bill or something. If you catch me if you catch me outside, bro. Cause we chilling for real, bro. Like, I support my people, bro. We chilling. But if someone's asking like I need 20,000, I don't even have 1,000, bro. A 20 will do, but we just you don't need money doesn't make you great, bro. People do. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. People do. Money itself is not great. Like, if you see a dollar bill, it, the economy is going to shit. So, so let me just use an example from World War II, when the economy crashed in Germany and they had to wheel buckets of like bills and just like less coins, and like they had like wheelbarrows of money that they had to get to the store just to pay for stuff. And that's bull. That you don't want to do that. Like you're gonna hate your life if you do that, bro. Like, don't worship money. Money is a tree. A tree grows, but the tree itself is beautiful. The tree itself is full of life, but we take that away when we cut it down and turn it into a meaningless piece of paper. So, when I write down my stuff, I do it from the bottom of my from the deep depths within my soul, the contours of my soul, bro. Y- You know, I just do it deep, bro. So, I mean, you can scan these QR codes for real. This is a military grade notebook, so anything I write, it's a, how do I say this? So I use my pen. My pen's name is Lucifer. Lucifero. My bad. Lucci, and then Pharoh. Lucifero, or Lucy, or Lucifero. Like, I just, whatever I feel like calling my pen, bro. My pen's chill, bro. One sec, bro. Let me find it right quick. Yeah. Shoot. Well, if you want to see, just look at like the second to last vid or last vid I posted. The vid that I keep referring to is the one where I'm about to go to sleep. So I got like a gray t-shirt on or a white one. Like I'm pretty sure it's gray. And it's March 15th right now. Like I got a few assignments to do tonight. It's whatever, bro. I'm gonna get them done. You know, but you can't stress yourself out. If you do that, you're never gonna get nothing done. I like to be intense with my work. So last 2 hours, like I take 2 hours, like 11 p.m. I got 10 assignments to do. I bust them out one at a time within the 2 hours, and I submit. And the way I do that is because I set my time. So I'm in California, so I do So I'm in PST, right? But I set my time. I set my time on my computer to Central Time, so to CT. That's 2 hours ahead. So when it hits 12 on there, and my cortisol levels rise, I'm just like, yo, like I'm itching for an assignment. I'm like ready to go, but I got time. But because I got 10 assignments, I get intense. But I keep in mind I got time. Yo, I got time. I got time. So everything's flowing like natural and just relaxed. I'm relaxed. I'm chilling, bro. So you know, don't stress yourself out, bro. Stress makes you erratic. Stress makes you not able to function properly, and just like you miss things when you stress out, and you can't put your full heart into it. You got to People say take your time with it, but I say to stay intense with it. Be intense with what you do. For Corinthians, bro, it says, "Let there be love in all that you do." 16, 13 through 14, uh, verse 14. Um, you know, and it's Sunday. And y'all, have a blessed day, y'all. Have a blessed day. All right. I love y'all. You guys like family for real. And yo, Remy, you too, bro. Yo, we gotta meet up, bro. Like you might have gone back to France for real, but like we gotta meet up for real, bro. We gotta go to like Old Town Bottega Italia, bro, and get some whiskey ice cream, bro. Yeah, bro. Some whiskey cream, it tastes good, bro. So you know. I'm gonna send this to you too. So yeah, bro. Like, we gotta meet up again, bro. So yeah, just if you're not in town right now, just let me know whenever you back, all right? So, we cool. But yeah, have a blessed day, y'all. Have a blessed day.